What is up? What is happening? Second round action for the 2019 NFL Draft. Second round coverage. We're going to go over a lot of the picks. I'll hang out as long as I can into the second round. Maybe longer. We'll see how things go. But we are live again for the second straight day talking 2019 NFL Draft landing spots, the fantasy implications, everything, all right here on The Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, myself. And just glad to have you here, glad to have you watching, glad to have you engaging. This is going to be an awesome show yet again. Just like yesterday's show, which was off the hook. I can't thank you guys enough for everything you did, all of the comments. What an amazing show we had for the first round. So I can't thank you guys enough for being totally engaged, totally active. Make sure you comment here. I'm going to drop this link in a bunch of different places right now, so bear with me as I go through that process of dropping this link dropping time to get some more people engaged and in this conversation for the second round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Where's A.J. Brown going to go? Where are these running backs like David Montgomery going to go? Will L.J. Scott even get drafted in this entire draft? Is Devin Singletary going to be a top 5 to 10 running back? I think he can if he lands in the right spot. On Instagram right now. What's up, 310 Rios? My thoughts on N'Keal Harry. I love N'Keal Harry, obviously, and this landing spot's amazing. So very, very pumped. Couldn't be more excited for the landing spot. I'd love to have him go to AZ here in Arizona, but I think A.J. Brown is a good shot at going number 1 in the second round to the Arizona Cardinals. So not out of the question. I'm just on Twitter right now saying I am live on YouTube for the second round NFL 2019 NFL Draft coverage. Join me live here. All right. What are your thoughts on it, 310? What do you think about N'Keal Harry landing in New England? Are you excited about it? Is it the place that you were hoping for? Were you hoping for a different spot? Do you have concerns that other people may or may not be talking about? Definitely, drop a line. Let me know what you're thinking. If you think that there was a better spot. What's going on, Oliver? Glad you're back, buddy. Let's do this. The second round is going to be soon underway, and we will see where a lot of these players that should have gone, in my opinion, in the first round, we'll see where they go heading into the second round. So very pumped and excited for the second round. Reopen investigation on Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is in some serious trouble, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if the guy never plays another down in the NFL. I think a lot of people share that thinking. I don't think I'm alone in that. I think there's a chance that he does, play down the road, sure. But there's also, I think, an equal chance that he doesn't. Let me drop your comment onto screen here, because that is definitely an awesome topic to toss out. 310. 310, I'm pretty sure you subscribed already, and definitely give it a thumbs up, guys. I don't see any thumbs up on this video. That really helps me. I'm sorry to keep stressing that every time I have a show here, but thumbs up. Subscriptions, getting those subs, that's what helps me be able to do this for you guys more. I mean, if you want, thanks for the thumbs up. If you guys want this kind of stuff all the time, if you want me going live daily, if you want me to have a show from 10 to 2 every single day, those are the things that go through my mind. But I need the subscribers, I need the sponsors, I need to get to the 10,000 subscriber mark, then the 20,000. Once I have that kind of volume, and when you thumb up a video of mine, YouTube says, hey, let's deliver this video to more people. So the more thumbs up you get. Thank you, Alexander, subscribing. You the man. Ring the bell. So whenever you get a thumbs up and whenever there's engagement going on, YouTube says, let's serve this video to more people. Let's recommend it in the recommended section. You guys help me more than I probably help you when you do that for me. So just know that I appreciate it. Know that you guys are the ones that make this show amazing, and I can't thank you enough. Let's see, got some more questions I'll toss up here on screen. Could be worse, but hell, he'll get a chance in New England. Yeah, Some people think that way, that this isn't the best spot. I personally think it's great. I would have liked him in Arizona too. I think A.J. Brown has a strong chance of going at the first pick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me just send out a couple things here. I'm trying to punch out this link to a bunch of people. Boom. Email sent. Subscribers notified. Let me get this link in a couple other places. So, guys, toss out questions, man. What are you guys thinking? Who do you think is going to be the first player off the board in this 2019 second round of the NFL draft? Will it be a defensive player, offensive player? Will it be an A.J. Brown? Will we see a wide receiver run just freaking take off here in this first half of the second round? I think is a very good chance we see a bunch of wide receivers go. I'm live on YouTube now. Join me for the second round. Boom. And then one more link on a couple other social media platforms here, guys. Just dropping stuff. Harry or Jacobs as the 1.01. Sherwin, I'm going to say N'Keal Harry is the 1.01, but I wouldn't be all that, think anybody's all that crazy to rank Jacobs 1. But I also think that the number 1 running back in this draft class may still be yet to be drafted. Don't think because they were snubbed in the first round that they won't become fantasy football's number 1 running back. Landing spots could look very good in a few minutes, so do not just assume that they won't be in better spots than Jacobs. They could. 2019 NFL Draft live on YouTube. YouTube Live. 2019 NFL Draft coverage. Just posting this link everywhere I can to get some people on here so we can have a big show. An awesome show, just like yesterday. So, can't thank you guys enough for making yesterday such a awesome show. Rosen to Miami is your projection there. 310 Rios. Yeah, that could definitely be one of the locations. Harry or Jacobs as the 1.01 rookie is Sherwin's question that I answered just a minute ago. I think Harry's mine. But David Montgomery could land in Tampa Bay. Devin Singletary could land in Tampa Bay. Houston Texans could get one of those guys. And then all of a sudden we're talking about potentially a 1.01 in a lot of people's mind. I predict the 1.01 may not, in most people's mind. I still have N'Keal Harry there. But I think that a lot of people are going to want to go running back. That's just the trend in fantasy football. I think the 1.01 may not be drafted to an NFL team yet. So keep that in mind as we roll through this second round. David Montgomery, Damian Harris, Henderson, Devin Singletary. LJ Scott's a very dark horse of mine. I think a Philip Lindsay of 2019. So he won't be the 1.01 by any means. But I'm just saying these guys are going to gain value like that if they land in the right spots. So get ready, get excited. We're here. The second round of the 2019 NFL Draft is underway. And I am ready. I'm pumped. I'm here in the TheFantasyFootballShow.com studios, ready for the draft. Ready for your questions, ready to talk everything, anything fantasy football, anything NFL draft, anything rookies. One of the best topics, I think, to discuss right now is the one that 310 Rios brought up just a minute ago that reopened the investigation on Tyreek Hill. Is that official or is that a speculation? Let's check it out. I'm going to pull up Newswire right now. I've been preparing for the show, so I may have missed something that just posted. But let's make sure, is that something that's concrete yet? Or are you assuming? Reports a criminal case against Tyreek Hill and his fiancee for alleged child abuse has been reopened following the release of the new audio on Thursday. So that actually is confirmed. 310 Rios, you are correct. Great topic. That is coming from, I think, KCTV5. Police had been investigating Hill for allegedly breaking his 3-year-old's arm. Johnson County District Attorney Steve Howey announced Wednesday that his department would not pursue criminal charges against Hill due to the lack of evidence. But Thursday's audio leaked by CBS Kansas City made them decide to reopen the case. So this is not good. Could there be no findings again? Sure. But regardless of what happens with the DA and with that case and the actually, the legal ramifications, the NFL can do whatever they want. You can argue this right or wrong. You could say it's wrong. You could say it's right. You could say it's not harsh enough. You could say it's too harsh. There's people on all sides of it, and believe me, I see it within my forum, within the comments of all my social media posts. But the bottom line is, let me go live on Instagram here, let people know we are here, and we are ready and rocking and rolling. The thing about Tyreek Hill and the NFL is that the NFL is going to do whatever they want, and they've shown a precedent of not allowing this kind of stuff, especially when it's bad in the public eye. If you're just joining us on Instagram, head on over to YouTube. What's up, numbers? youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow, where you're going to get a little bit more of an interactive experience, but glad to have you. The NFL is going to suspend him for the entire year, is my prediction. We're all kind of guessing at this point, but with a reopened investigation on Tyreek Hill, with the new evidence, with the fact that now there's people hearing him be kind of a violent person, whether you want to argue that that audio wasn't as bad as you thought it might be when you first had heard that this audio was available, then you listen to it. I've had people tell me that they don't think it was quite as bad as they were expecting. Doesn't matter. The NFL will take action. The NFL will maybe drag this thing out too. They could act swiftly. I could see either thing happening, but they're not going to let Tyreek Hill play, and I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs would either. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs actually released him and let people know we're not joking with Kareem Hunt. We are not playing around with anybody in regards to these types of situations, and we're just going to cut you. And if you remember back, what's going on, guys? YouTube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow is where you're going to get a little bit more active experience, so get on over. If you remember, Kareem Hunt was released because he lied. And you have to wonder if conversations happened before that audio tape was released, or that the news broke that it was released, that he lied to the team. I think that if he had a conversation with the team, there's a really good chance he didn't tell them that this audio was out there, or this audio could be out there, or that he said these things. The team's just going to flat out, I think, release him at some point. Let's see. Here's a question. Here's a good comment and good topic. 310 Rios, no way you draft Mahomes early with the Hill news. Depends on what you consider to be early. Me, it makes me want Mahomes more, not because I think that he'll produce more fantasy stats, but I think he'll still be damn effective. Maybe he scores 5 or 6 less touchdowns. Maybe he throws for 400 less yards, whatever the case may be. But I think if Mahomes drops to late 4th round value to early 5th, he's an absolute steal, absolute home run. He has weapons that a lot of teams don't have, even if you take Tyreek Hill off of that offense. He has weapons that a lot of good fantasy QBs that are getting their scoring top 5 QB numbers don't have, even if you take Tyreek Hill off that roster. Kelsey, Watkins, they may draft. What if they draft A.J. Brown? What if they draft Butler? What if they draft a really big name wide receiver in this 2019 NFL rookie class? And so you got Kelsey, you got Damian Williams. Who knows what they do with these picks here? They can make a trade. Regardless, I love Patrick Mahomes at 5th round value. If he falls into the top of the 5th, I'm ear to ear during all of my drafts, and I'll be owning him just about every single league I have. Aaron Rodgers in the late 4th is also a home run pick. I don't care what 310 Rios, I'm not sure if you know a lot of my content yet, but I don't care what anybody says about this drafting quarterbacks late crap. That you have to draft a quarterback late, that if you draft a quarterback early, it's a recipe for disaster. I've gone over this and gone over this and gone over this, and there's a way to explain it, and I've done that in a video where you're like, okay, you draft Patrick Mahomes in let's talk about the 4th round, because that's where he was before this news. Top of the 4th, somewhere around that range. If you draft Pat Mahomes at the top of the 4th, and then you draft Tyler Boyd, or whatever player you want to insert that could have monster appeal in that 6th round, and then somebody else takes a Fournette or a Kerryon Johnson or somebody else in that 4th round, or Aaron Jones if he fell, and then they take their Breeze or their whoever in the 6th round, you're still talking about comparable teams that would wash when you compare the two players to the two players. So it makes zero sense to say, because, and I'm not ranting at you 310 Rios, I'm just talking about the topic and how it's kind of irritating when people act like they have this evidence that if you take a QB early, you're done. They don't know what projections I have for the players that I'm drafting in the 5th and 6th rounds. No one knows if I'm going to land a breakout in the 5th or 6th round, but yet people are saying that because the 5th or 4th QB outscores the 12th or 10th by just 7 points or 15 points or whatever the stats that probably are accurate stats that they're spitting out, it's a completely irrelevant information, because what matters is what you predict. What matters is if you land your projections, if you land the guy that's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. If you can get that guy in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, then yeah, you're cleaning up by waiting. But if you believe Patrick Mahomes is a 45 TD passer, you may not now 310 Rio, so this may not work for you or whoever doesn't like Mahomes in the late 4th or early 5th. But if you, like me, believe he's still going to score 45 plus TDs, he could pass for 40 TDs on a disappointing season without Tyreek Hill and run for another 6, which would be 46 total TDs on a disappointing year, I think, for Pat Mahomes. 40 passing, 5 to 6 rushing, and he will crush that 4th round ADP. Crush it. He'll absolutely crush the top of the 5. And if I land my Calvin Ridley, if I was lucky enough to get him at the range where people are taking their passer, and my Mahomes crushes their Fournette or whatever, I clean up. I'm taking Pat Mahomes in the late 4th, top of the 5th, especially if this news knocks him to the 5th. I'm taking him in the 5th and taking advantage of that. But let me move this over. Is that better, guys? Sorry. Pat Mahomes is an absolute steal in the top of the 5th. I don't care. What's up, Mendoza? Mendoza in the house. Yeah, so 310 Rios, you're saying 5th round's great steal, a great value. I don't think it'll be higher. With this news, I think he'll be late 4th at the very earliest, which is going to be great news for Pat Mahomes believers. That volume is probably a lot better. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I've got so many moving parts here. I got the mic way over there. What's going on? Saturday morning. Snap, King Hoop. Dave, get on over, Gonzalez, get on over to youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. We need more people in the room. We need to get this started like yesterday. Yesterday we had like literally 25 to 35 people in the room at all times, the whole 4 hours. So the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that mic is a lot better right up against my face versus back behind my computer. When you're going live, you're live on Instagram, you're live on YouTube, you're posting links, you're trying to talk while you're posting links so that people coming into the room aren't bored and leaving. You forget a few things, and yesterday I forgot a few things as I was going. Today the mic was back, so apologize for that, guys. Mendoza, with all the news lately, what do you do with Sammy Watkins? Keep him or trade him? I think it depends on the value. If you're talking like a 6th, 7th round pick type value, whether it's trade or draft him there or whatever you're talking about, I think equivalent type value to what you can expect and what you should get. He has a lot more appeal than that in upside, but he also has a lot of injury risk every year no matter what's going on around him. So I'm not sure I would value him any higher than that just because of that news. I think Mahomes is going to find his wide receivers all over the field with Kelsey, with Damian Williams, with Watkins, with whoever they draft in the NFL draft. You be sure that they're going to take a wide receiver now, and maybe they trade up and grab A.J. Brown. Maybe they trade up and grab Butler or Samuel. I like a lot. Samuel is my number 3 ranked wide receiver in this draft class. Maybe they trade up and get DK Metcalf, which would actually be probably the most ideal spot for DK Metcalf as for his progression or his ability to get to the levels that everybody's expecting. Give him a quarterback like Mahomes that can get him the football anywhere, and maybe some of his weaknesses will be completely, irrelevant with Mahomes' style and Mahomes' talent. So DK Metcalf in KC would be quite amazing, but hopefully they do trade up and get a wide receiver, or they land one late. Where's Casey picking? Anybody have the draft tracker up? I'm pulling it up here. Draft tracker and picks. The Chiefs don't have. Let's see. We go to the 2nd round. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs pick at 29 in the second round and also at 31. So if they wanted, they could trade both of those picks up and land the top wide receiver available. That would be pretty awesome. Thanks, 310 Rios. I'm glad to have you here, my friend. Bring up good topics like that all the time. Just even if we differ, I'm not saying we differed on opinions, but even if we differ on opinions, man, I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have your take here. When people are just polite and they have a different opinion, man, it's awesome. So, as long as you have that approach, I have that approach, we all do. Different opinions rock, and give everybody something to think about. And sometimes sway my opinion, sometimes sway your opinion, sometimes we sway each other's opinion. There's no negative spin on the fact that your own users can sway your opinion. If a fantasy analyst doesn't respect his own users' opinions, if he doesn't let his own users tell him, hey, you're ranking him way too low on your rankings, and I'm like, you know what? I've been kind of neglecting moving him up, and I should. People need to be more honest about that, and you guys have so much knowledge, and I love corralling that into the show and wrapping it up into the content. So let me go ahead and... guys, go over to youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. I'm going to end this on Instagram. I'll be back, though, so jump on over. Focus on my YouTube peeps here. This is about YouTube, so just want to let everybody know we're over here. So 310, thank you for the comment about the great analysis. And he says, keep up the good work. So much appreciated, my friend. I'm going to close out some of these comments and look for the new ones from you guys, because I think there's a lot to talk about in between these picks. The pick is in for the Cardinals. God, I hope they take A.J. Brown. Just gone midnight here. Where are you at, Steve? And Steve, I'm not sure if you're new, Steve, but please subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Guys, we got 13 people just jumped in. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps me so much to have that. It makes YouTube recommend my videos more, which makes me bigger, which makes me create more content for you guys on the daily and on the regular. So thumbs up, please. If you haven't subscribed, thank you guys. I see it already. Steve, please subscribe. Dave, please subscribe, and please hit the thumbs up. Can't tell you how much it helps. Dave, the rapper, him and I just went on IG together. It's hard to do like this all at once, so I was going to dial up some people, but it'd be too crazy. Byron Murphy to the Arizona Cardinals. I need to get a draft tracker up here for you guys, so let's drop the draft tracker. So that's a cornerback out of Washington that they just selected. That's pretty awesome. That's a good pick. I like it. Live 2019 NFL Draft. Draft tracker is being updated as we speak. So the second round and with the one pick, or we're going to call it the 32 or 33 pick, we're going to go 32 pick is Byron Murphy. CB. He's a first-round guy, just like they just said on screen there. First-round talent. Cardinals did pretty good grabbing him there. I'm pretty happy with that selection. Arizona, Kyler Murray was an amazing pick, I think, for the organization, for everybody, for all these Cardinal fans that have been worried about Josh Rosen being effective in this air raid system under this new coach that a lot of people still worry was maybe people jumped the gun. We jumped the gun on as the Arizona Cardinals team drafting him, or signing him as our head coach, guy that just bailed on his college. A lot of questions about whether he would translate at the NFL, Kingsbury, but to make the bold move and go after Rosen was freaking fantastic and showed balls, and I totally respect that. Changing the dynamic and the feel in the locker room. We are not going to continue to do the same thing the Cardinals have done year after year after year, was the message that Kingsbury was sending when he drafted Kyler Murray. And then to address the defense, also have some responsibility for that, and to get a guy in Byron Murphy that has first-round talent. Very good cornerback. I'm very excited about the Cardinals coming out of this draft. They are probably going to be rated very high in terms of draft rating and having a great draft. Pretty excited. What's up, Steve? Glad to have you back again for another awesome show. Come on, Niners, get greedy is what David says. dragging that comment on screen. Steve subbed. You're the man, Steve. You guys help me so much by subscribing. Hard to explain how much of an impact you each have individually, but it collectively makes a show like mine become a monster show or not at all. So you guys make the difference, and thank you so much. Wow. So next up, let me fill some of this in. I was going to go three at a time here. So 33 is the Indianapolis Colts. Who do they take? AZ just took Byron. And so Colts, Raiders, Niners. So 34 is going to be the Raiders. Raiders have so many. I mean, what if the Raiders take N'Keal Harry? Or A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf here? And San Fran is 36. The pick is in. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Indianapolis Colts, do they take a wide receiver? Do they take A.J. Brown? Does A.J. Brown now become a top 5 to 7? I was saying top 5 to 10. But in Indianapolis, if A.J. Brown goes there, top 5 to 10 fantasy football wide receiver for the future. Reggie Wayne, ironically announcing the pick. Could it be a wide receiver? I'm feeling a wide receiver here. I could be delayed, so you guys might have just saw it. Come on, Wayne. Hurry this up. The Indianapolis Colts pick is in. I'm hoping they go wide receiver. David, what are you thinking? Steve, what do you got?
With the 34th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Rock Ya-Sin, DB Temple.
DB. Well, A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf and gang keep falling, and that means that the Raiders might walk away with one of those wide receivers, which would be absolutely head-scratchingly crazy awesome for a team that people are crapping all over. But Rock, let's see. A lot of people just call him Rock, as they said on TV, because that Rock Ya-Sin, cornerback out of Temple. He's a wrestling champion as well. Hopefully he doesn't deploy that skill set on the field. But no, it's good. It's good he has that grappling ability. Well, not a bad pick for the Colts, but I think the Colts would have been pretty set up to go wide receiver there. But we'll see. What does Oakland do here? Oh, is there a trade? Raiders trade to the Jaguars. So this pick is no longer Oakland's. It is Jacksonville's. Jacksonville is next on the clock. Traded a pick from and got their pick from Oakland. So what's going on, Kevin? Glad you're back, my friend. So the Jaguars are now on the clock instead of the Oakland Raiders. So we will see if they take A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf kind of feels like a Jaguar to me. DK Metcalf and that's probably going to be a decent situation for him, but I still don't know he'll translate. If he landed in Kansas City, I think he could translate pretty well. Because I think Pat Mahomes would make anybody an absolute star. I hope that the Chiefs trade up and get a wide receiver. I truly do, because after today's news that the investigation's going to be opened again on Tyreek Hill and his wife, reopened. Breaking news today, the Chiefs will probably, I think, in time release him, or he will at the very, very least be suspended for the entire year, in my opinion. And that's my humble opinion, but I think that Hill will be suspended for the entire year, just to make a statement alone, even if nothing comes of the new reopened investigation by the DA, which again was reopened today. Even if nothing comes from that, the Chiefs will make a statement. The NFL will make a statement as an organization, and I think that the Chiefs would be very, very smart to trade up for a wide receiver here. So we'll see what happens. What do you guys think is going to happen here for the Jaguars? Do they take DK Metcalf? I think they might. I'm kind of feeling a AJ Brown or DK. I want AJ Brown to the Chiefs too. If he landed in the Chiefs, I'd be ear to ear happy, Kevin. If AJ Brown landed with the Kansas City Chiefs, I will be ecstatic. I'm gonna ring that bell and run around the studio here, because for those that don't know, N'Keal Harry and AJ Brown are both on my bold predictions for 2019. That's a free nugget for you guys. Jawan Taylor, Kevin, you've been talking about him for a day and a half. So, Jawan Taylor, OT. Seattle is still coming up here, and they could grab a wide receiver. Taylor to Jacksonville. Well, I have to say, I hope this wide receiver run kicks into gear soon. San Francisco would be a fantastic spot for a wide receiver. A.J. Brown to San Francisco would be amazing. DK Metcalf would be good for Jimmy Garoppolo and that offense. I don't, again, think DK is going to be what everybody hopes he is going to be unless he lands in KC, where he could be force-fed the football in ways that other QBs cannot force-feed that football. Greedy would be a good pick. I like Jawan Taylor. I think he fell quite a bit. Well, yeah, Jacksonville's had a pretty quietly awesome draft. I think Arizona's up there. I think Oakland, because they have so many picks by default, need to do well. Does everybody think and agree that unless the Giants land a salvage just somehow with a wide receiver falling that shouldn't fall, does anybody think that the Giants walk away as one of the losers in this draft? And the Giants walk away one of the losers, if not the biggest loser of the offseason, completely dismantling their team. Keeping Odell Beckham Jr., drafting Haskins. There's so many other options they had in front of them. What a dismantling of an organization if I've ever seen one. So, let's see what you guys think here. San Francisco going wide receiver or Seattle? What are the odds that at least one of these two teams, San Francisco, who's on the clock right now, Seattle is on deck, what are the odds, in your opinion, that a wide receiver is taken? Do I read the chat? Highlands? Yeah, I do. And I drop. See all the comments on the screen? I'm dragging your comments over, answering questions. So glad you're here, Highlands. Highlands, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. It helps my channel tremendously. David, I'm not super excited about the Giants. Wow. And Saquon, to me, is already the 1.03 because getting rid of Odell Beckham Jr., some will argue, is a good thing. I think it's not a good thing. I think it can't be a good thing. It's only a bad thing. Yes, he did survive and do well at times when Odell Beckham Jr. was out, but it's still a different thing when a defense actually, game plans against an offense with a whole season to prepare. That not having Odell is going to make it very easy to contain a lot of that offense. And while Saquon Barkley is not a person you can truly contain, his yards per carry are sure to go down without Odell Beckham Jr. there. His yards or his touchdown opportunities are going to be a little harder to come by. He'll have to do more, getting in the end zone himself than being set up with 4, 3, and 2 yard runs a lot. They're not going to get down the field. Big Jim, glad you're here, my friend. Please subscribe and please hit that thumbs up. It really helps me, and damn glad to have you here. Want to see Big Jim says, let me drag your comment on the screen, Big Jim. Big Jim in Highlands, if you got a question, toss it out. Here's the new question of the moment. Christopher, damn glad you're here, my friend. Subscribe, follow, really appreciate it. So hit that thumbs up for the video, hit that subscribe for the channel. It really, really helps me. Big Jim, I want to see DK go to the Raiders or the Chiefs. I think any wide receiver landing on that Chiefs roster is going to be huge, given the news that Tyreek Hill, that investigation has been reopened, Big Jim, this morning, and he will most likely miss, in my opinion, the entire 2019 NFL season. I think without question, in my mind at least. And I think that his odds of him playing again are looking bad. You the man, Big Jim. Here we go. The pick is in for the San Francisco 49ers, and I am feeling wide receiver at either this pick or the Seattle pick. But you know what? I felt wide receiver the entire first round. These teams are shocking me with their picks. Are you happy I am here? Yes, I am, Vike Z. And you better be subscribed. And hit that thumbs up, buddy. Glad to have you. San Francisco, take a wide receiver. Take a wide receiver. Take A.J. Brown. Take DK Metcalf. Take Butler. Take somebody. Give us fantasy, guys. I'm sorry, there's a moment of silence here. I did that in school a lot, too. I really think A.J. Brown is going to be a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy, top 5 to 10, depending on where he lands. If he lands in San Francisco, if he lands in KC, he's top 5 in my book. Let me just throw that out there. And anybody saying that they had A.J. Brown that high before the NFL draft is crazy, because I've combed the internet looking for anybody that has anything like I have on A.J. Brown and N'Keal Harry. Both are on my bold predictions, but A.J. Brown will be everybody's darling if he lands here, or especially KC. But you guys heard it first. Deebo Samuel, my 3rd ranked wide receiver in this 2019 rookie class. Deebo is a beast. Watch, if you're watching right now on ESPN, watch Samuel. Watch him on film right here. He is polished. He has breakaway ability. He's the man. I love his skill set. He's going to translate into the NFL very, very effectively. My 3rd ranked wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, going to the 49ers. Amazing pick. He's perfect fit for Jimmy Garoppolo. Watch this. 5'11", 214. Some injury concerns have been the only reason I think he's really dropped down. But watch this, guys. He plays bigger than he looks. Taking handoffs, can do a lot with his feet after the catch. I like this guy. I think Deebo Samuel is now locked into a lot of people's 3-4 wide receiver, where he's been 3 for me all pretty much the last 3 or 4 months. I love Samuel. I think he's going to be a beast. Excellent. Let me update this draft tracker. Excellent landing spot for a guy that's been a huge sleeper of mine at the wide receiver position. Not on a lot of people's top 5 or 6 board. So I don't know if you guys have looked around at a lot of rankings, but Deebo Samuel's nowhere to be found on people's top 5 rankings. So know that. Deebo Samuel. What's up, Deebo? Glad to have you in the NFL, my friend. Okay, so Seattle is up. Oh no, Seattle. Did Seattle just make the trade? Traded to the Carolina Panthers? Oh baby. Some trades going on. So Carolina is up. Maybe they go wide receiver. A.J. Brown. 38 is Oakland. So Oakland's going to get back in the mix again. They traded down. Tampa Bay. Is that where the running back's coming, guys? I'm going to get pretty excited. Deebo Samuel born. That's depressing. Vike Z. Thanks for making me feel like a total old man. Here's Vike Z's negative comment of the week. let's see. Bike Z with the negative comment of the week. Deebo Samuel, born January 15th, 1996. 23 years old. 23 already. I know that you're making a statement that he's older, but the fact that he was born in 96 really is depressing, Bike Z. So you just made my day. How old do we feel when he's born in 96? I'm not worried about being 23, by the way. He's got a lot of time. Nice one, Vike Z. Dropping it early. Greg Little. You mean Greg Little? Not Lewis. Greg Little. OT. All right, guys. Hopefully a wide receiver is coming here soon. Another one. But Oakland is up on the clock. Little went to the Carolina Panthers. So it's Oakland, Tampa Bay. I'm hoping a running back goes. I'm hoping David Montgomery. I'm hoping Devin Singletary. I don't know that teams are going to take a player. Yeah. Jacob, you graduated in 97. Pretty depressing, is it not, that the players we're talking about right now were born in 1996, 1995. Wow. It will be amazing when these players were born in the 2000s. What did Seattle get in the trade? I don't know. That's a great question. Ethan, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Glad to have you here, buddy. Great question. If anybody can answer that question for Evan and us, what that trade was. So Buffalo, 48. Wow. Wait a minute. 38 to Buffalo. Did Oakland trade again? What is Oakland doing? They must want somebody that is not even near this draft range. So Buffalo is up at 38. Hopefully they go wide receiver here. Maybe they go. I kind of feel DK here for Buffalo. 40 will be Oakland then. Wow, Oakland's moving all around the board. They must really like somebody that's going to fall. Buffalo Bills are up at 38. Acquired that from, I believe, Oakland. Write that in there. Tampa Bay's next on deck. And then Oakland is in waiting at the 40 pick. So Draft Tracker is updated and up. This draft is rolling pretty good. Seattle goes number 47 in round 2, says Steve, and number 77 in round 3. Thank you, Steve. Always dropping the knowledge and the timely information. So thank you, Steve. Having him and Brown is just terrifying, is what Big Jim's saying. You mean DK? Yeah, and that's been the place I've talked about wanting DK to fall. I think that if DK falls to or lands in Oakland, you're talking about the best place for the players around him. So maybe he doesn't become, an elite wide receiver, but him landing there makes Antonio Brown impossible to contain and cover. And they have Jacobs, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, okay, Oakland could be really good. Just like everybody said that the Browns were going to be crappy. And look at the Browns now. And if you can't see this here, let me move this. This is my Browns Super Bowl ticket right there, framed and been on the wall there. Always freaking trading down, says Tommy. Tommy, subscribe. Rod, subscribe. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit it, and please hit the thumbs up. Luke, man, please hit the thumbs up. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. Guys, our room is 36 people deep. The engagement's been awesome. I can't thank you enough for all you guys have been doing to make this channel grow. And all of you are a part of the building of this channel from the ground up, because we launched over 3 months ago, and we're already like rocking it and growing at growth rate during the dead off season with channels that are 10 and 20,000 subscribers deep. We are growing at the same rate they are. So when August comes, I would not be shocked if we were 10,000 subscribers in maybe September. it could even be off on that, and we could be bigger. So it's because of you guys. It's because of you hitting the thumbs up, the subscribe. Every time you thumbs up a video, it makes YouTube deliver it to more people. So please continue. Rod, Luke, Tommy, Jacob, who just entered, I think, or if you just commented for the first time, please subscribe. I just saw a subscribe. Thank you guys, McGrath. Means so much to me, and it makes this channel. My goal, just so you know, Tommy, Jacob, Luke, Steve, I know you, and Big Jim, you guys already did subscribe, and Ethan, I'm not sure if you have yet. Please hit subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. I'm not sure how much you guys know about my plans for the Fantasy Football Show, right here, TheFantasyFootballShow.com, which is a kind of branch off of Sleeper U, which is my bold predictions, my rankings that I've had up for several years. I've been in the business for 15 years. I'm on CBS Sports Radio during the season on 1580 AM, and I plan to have this show blow that audience out of the water, and this is my bread and butter. This will be the place that I live, and my ultimate goal is to have a show freaking every day, like 10 to 2, go live constantly like this with you guys. So I'm live all the time, dropping live shows on you guys, answering your questions. I answer every comment I can, even during the live stream. Every single comment I try and reply to. So I'm interactive. I'm here for you. I'm your secret weapon. I'm excited to tear it up for you guys in 2019. And my number one bold prediction of the year was N'Keal Harry, Buffalo Bills, Cody Ford, tackle, and Big Jim already dropped that. So, yep. Cody Ford going to the Buffalo Bills. Not bad. You can't complain about that for Josh Allen. Tampa Bay is next. Do they have the balls to go running back? Do they have the balls to say, I don't care, trend. I don't care what is thought to be the right way to draft a running back these days and let them fall to disrespectful value. Do they have the balls to say, I'm ready to reach for the player that I want that can make my franchise different, make my franchise, the future up-and-coming offense? They're going to air it out. I'm not a huge Winston fan, but that attack is going to air it out and be by default top 5 to 10 in terms of passing. They're going to throw it a ton. Mike Evans, Godwin, you toss in a David Montgomery, the Bucs will be off the hook in 2019. I'm going to go live on Instagram here and shout out to my peeps. Mendoza, I hope they draft David Montgomery. That will make David Montgomery arguably the 1.01 in a lot of people's eyes. I still take N'Keal Harry, but David Montgomery in an amazing spot. Let me minimize this just a little bit. Can you guys see the, let's see. Can you guys still see the draft tracker okay? Let me see if I can minimize that just a little. All right. Man, David Montgomery, if I had the 1.01 in a couple leagues, I would definitely consider taking David Montgomery at the 1.01. I won't lie. If he landed in Tampa Bay, I could see myself wanting him that badly in a team where I needed a running back. But N'Keal Harry is my 1.01 lock if I'm just, mock drafting on paper, giving out the advice to all you guys who have just the 1.01 in one league. But definitely think that David Montgomery is going to be a top 5 to 10 running back in fantasy football. I think Devin Singletary could easily be that good as well. But will Devin Singletary find, the right place? Will you have a landing spot that makes sense? Devin Singletary is very doubted, I think, in a lot of circles, and I don't know why. Because he's Devin the Motor Singletary, the most broken tackles. Him and Montgomery are like the tackle breaking machines of the 2019 NFL draft class. Let me get rid of some of these comments here. Guys, drop more comments. I'll drag them in, and we'll talk about any of your awesome debates and topics you might have. Let's see what our sub count's at. Guys, if you're on Instagram, get on over to youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. That's where it's at. Godwin, thank you for the thumbs up. Godwin, OJ Howard, Evans, yes, very awesome offense. So if David Montgomery goes to the Bucs, they're gonna be so offensively, they'll be flexing after this draft. What's going on, guys, on Instagram? YouTube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. Get on over. Tampa Bay. The pick is on the clock. I haven't rang the bell in a little bit for the subscribers. Thank you for the subscriptions, guys. Dilfer, look at Dilfer. He looks the same. That's how he looked as a QB. Okay. DB, Sean Bunting. Doesn't mean they won't get a running back later, though. But I would have loved to have seen. Okay, is it DK Metcalf time? Or does Oakland trade down? I'm feeling DK. You walk out with Josh Jacobs and DK Metcalf, you're doing pretty freaking well when you have Antonio Brown just landing on your roster this offseason and you have people ripping you apart. Locke is available. What if they took a Locke here? What are you guys thinking as far as Locke? Yeah, Greedy's sliding far. David, I don't understand. Jacob, so why is DK, I'm assuming you mean DK, not TK. Why is, let me edit that for you. Because I have the power. Why is DK dropping? I think you think it's some slow cone drill, and you think it might be injuries or the slow cone drill. Definitely, I mean, that made his value kind of, change a little bit because everyone was so excited for him. And then the cone drill talk, and I'm going to end this Instagram. I need to go live on Twitter for a minute. Poor Twitter peeps. Let's go. What am I doing wrong here? Live, there it is. Like, where's the live option on Twitter? I haven't gone live on Twitter in forever. Let's see. Okay, we're live on Twitter. All right, guys. We're live on youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. So the Twitter world, get on over there and definitely watch this live stream on youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. We are like almost 36 deep of people on there talking fantasy football. So get on over. The right team is waiting for the one-trick pony in DK. That could be the case, RJ. RJ, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Same thing with Talk Sports. Wow, DK. I've been predicting DK go to Oakland, but I predicted that at pick 17, I believe, whatever pick they had late in that. I think it was 17. I predicted Oakland to take DK Metcalf there. So if they land Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf, or Locke here, Locke would be an amazing pick right here. John Gruden told one of his first-round picks that they have a great QB in Oakland. Yeah, but ask John Gruden about any player, and he'll say he's the best player that's ever lived. So I don't know that I trust John Gruden's opinion at all. That is a bad sign for his talent evaluation, but he thinks everybody's the best. You ask him about his fullback, you say his fullback is the best running back in the entire league, and then you ask him about his running back, he'd be like, no, my running back's the best running back in the entire league. That guy doesn't give a straight answer for anything. He loves everybody. John Gruden loves everybody. Guys over on Twitter and girls, youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. Get on over, subscribe, like, and that's where you're going to see the live stream through the second round. So jump on over. If I do end this stream here on Twitter, that's where you can find us at youtube.com/TheFantasyFootballShow. Thank you, Talk Sports. I appreciate it. So, what do you guys think about Deebo? Samuel is going to be a great wide receiver in the NFL, and I love the landing spot in San Fran. I mean, if Garoppolo can stay healthy, this is a great place for a wide receiver of his skill set to land. He plays bigger than he is. He's faster than he looks. He's faster than he is on paper. He's got good hands. He can run the football. He even throws the football. He's definitely got some tricks up his sleeve of being one of those dynamic wide receivers that runs, passes, and is a beast in the receiving game. I mean, he is the total package. I love Samuel. Amazing pick. I'm very, very props to San Fran for getting a guy in there that I think could be absolutely phenomenal for that organization in about 2 to 3 years. I think Marquise Goodwin is a very big steal in 2019, and this might even help him be a bigger steal in 2019 because I think Marquise Goodwin was on the verge of becoming a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, and then Goodwin, kind of fell flat. Then they had their QB situation that everybody knows about get turned upside down for him. So, I think Marquise Goodwin gets a pass on last year, and I think Marquise Goodwin could definitely be a wide receiver, a low-end wide receiver 2 that you can get as a wide receiver 3-4. I'm not telling you to draft Marquise Goodwin as a wide receiver 3. I'm saying he could be that good. Try and get him as a 4 or 5, maybe even 5 or 6. I mean, people are doubting Goodwin big time. Mullen, Fantasy Bench, appreciate you joining. Please subscribe and like if you haven't. Fantasy Bench, I appreciate it. RJ, please subscribe and like. And David, please do the same, guys. It really helps me out. Oakland takes Mullen Clemson. I need to back out and restart my stream because I think I'm a good 30 seconds behind everybody right now. Damn live stream. Mullen Clemson. Happy Mother's Day. Today's not. What the heck? Today's not Mother's Day. 40th pick.
In the 2019 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Trayvon Mullen, DB Clemson.
Trayvon. Okay, well, Trayvon Mullen. Denver is next, and Cincinnati is after that. I didn't mean to keep calling him Clemson, from Clemson. My brain's fried. When you do these live streams, I've been on for only 56 minutes now, but yesterday was 4 hours. You get fried, man. You don't even know what you're saying half the time. So if anybody thinks this is easy, try it. Try doing my 24-hour live stream I did. For those of you that are new, Rod, RJ, I'm not sure if you guys are new just to the channel or if I didn't see you yesterday. I apologize if I'm calling you new if you're not. But I did a 24-hour straight live stream to kick this show off, to kick the entire YouTube show and channel off, a few months ago. And I went live for 24 straight hours. I took like 3 or 4 bathroom breaks, very short bathroom breaks. I ate. Thank you, RJ, for subscribing, my friend. I'm going to end this Twitter live stream. Deuces to Twitter. Okay, let me check the subscriber count, see what you guys have dropped since we got on. Dude, you guys are awesome. Raiders took 12th May, Australia Mother's Day. Rod, thank you for clarifying. I was freaking out a little bit there when he's saying Happy Mother's Day. I was like, what what did I just forget? Oh my God. I was about to lose my shot. So Denver is up, then Cincinnati. They're not going to take a wide receiver. They're not going to take a running back. Denver's probably not going to. Denver could take a wide receiver, but Cincinnati won't take a wide receiver or running back. And then at pick 43, Detroit, they're not going to take a wide receiver. I don't think they'd take a running back, but crazier things have happened. No question. But I don't think they will. So I think we're going to have a couple different. We're not going to have some exciting picks here other than, maybe Cincinnati takes Locke. And then, because think about this, guys. The offensive coordinator and the head coach for the Bengals are converted QB coaches. They don't have head coaching experience. I think neither has been an offensive coordinator. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if anybody does know. But Cincinnati has a very, you could say, immature coaching staff. They are QB coaches. Don't you think that between one of them, they're going to be arguing that they take Locke here? Denver could as well. But I think Locke goes here to Denver or to Cincinnati, and I don't see any other alternative option here. I don't know how you would pass on Locke at this point. What do you guys think on that? Locke to either Denver or Cincinnati. It's got to be, right? I mean, we've said that before during this draft, but it's got to be. You'd think it has to be. And, Elway loves. Elway loves. I don't know what Elway loves. I'm not sure anybody can predict what Elway thinks anymore. I'm not a fan of Elway's process right now. But Flacco, according to Elway, is an elite QB, right? And has 10, 15 years left, according to Elway. So, who knows? Broncos will take Irv Smith Jr., says Rod. RJ, you concur with them taking Locke? Or are you concurring with Rod about Irv Smith? Either way, you are the man, so don't worry. Jason Smith, please subscribe and hit that like button on the video and then subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you here, buddy. The Outsider 68 is in the house. I think Denver would be idiots to pass on Locke here. And am I behind? Did they already take? I'm going to refresh my stream after this as soon as the pick happens for me. It looks like the Broncos did take.
With the 41st pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Dalton Reisner.
So you were correct. Obviously, I didn't know if you were guessing, though, when you said Reisner. All right, let's restart this stream. Okay, we're restarted. I should be more caught up here. Dalton Reisner, not a bad pick, but why are you not taking a QB like Locke at this point is beyond me. But Cincinnati has to take him. Locke was no lock to the Denver Broncos, but I think Locke is going to be a lock to the Cincinnati Bengals. Green Bay, A.J. Brown? Just saying. A.J. Brown would be pretty good in a Green Bay uniform. Some will say he can't reach elite heights because of Devontae Adams, but I think I wouldn't worry about that too much, given it's going to take up a good 2 years for somebody to beat at their top level at a wide receiver position. So I'd worry about that later and just enjoy the ride of watching Aaron Rodgers at both wide receivers. Denver trades up. Wow. So Denver, back in the mix, gets the pick from Cincinnati. So Denver, Detroit, Green Bay is the next pick. So Denver, they take Reisner and then they take Locke. Seems like a lock to me, as we keep referencing that pun. Tyreek is surely done in the NFL, says Steve GTA. That could be a very accurate statement in a couple months or less, maybe a couple weeks, couple days. Who knows? This thing could go fast. He could be released, but I think we'll know. We'll know sooner than later whether he plays in 2019. But I think that we'll find out next year if a team's going to buy in and grab him. I mean, look what Hunt. Everyone thought Hunt was done, and then everyone was like, no team's going to grab him. Even I was questioning that a team would actually make that move, but the Browns did. The backlash wasn't that big. So we will see, but I think Hill is in serious trouble. His only hope is that, and I say this from a fantasy perspective, I'm not saying right or wrong on this, I'm talking about that, but Hill's only hope is that Hunt was welcomed back, so it's possible. Hackler, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Glad you're here. Saints wide receiver would be phenomenal. A.J. Brown, I think, is the second best wide receiver and a top 5 to 10 wide receiver for the future. So you see that happen if he goes to New Orleans. I'm going to be ear to ear on that for at least a couple years. But I do want A.J. Brown to be in a position where he can be the top wide receiver for his team. And I think Mike Thomas is going to be hard to overtake. So, I'll like the landing spot in some ways, but in other ways I'll be like, okay, that limits some of his appeal for a while in terms of how high he can be ranked. Yeah, so Luke, definitely Luke Man 5301 saying that if the evidence is true about his fiance getting assaulted, he's done. Uh, Definitely think, Luke, you could be on the money there. I'm just saying that Hunt did pave the way for guys to potentially return that have that kind of talent. But Ray Rice didn't, and he had the talent. So I think it could go either way. So I think you could be right on that. I would not say that that is and in a bad way to look at this. I think it definitely is a possibility that he never plays again for sure. I mean, I've already reported that. There's a good chance that he doesn't play again, but he's definitely done for 2019, in my opinion. RJ, this is Luke. RJ, I believe this is completely separate. Just heard about it today. What is separate, Luke? What are you talking about? You mean like a new report of something? A new assault? A new version of assault? Other than the audio tape you're talking about? So the thing is, if you are new, or if you're new, or you just joined and you haven't heard, Tyreek Hill, the investigation was reopened on Tyreek Hill by the DA. They had closed it, if you remember, back a few days ago, and then everyone thought, okay, Hill might be okay. He might still face NFL suspension, but Hill might be okay. That has since changed, and new evidence came out that there's an audio tape, and some people have heard it. I've heard it myself. And a lot of people have said that it wasn't quite as bad as they anticipated because there was so much hype about it being bad. I think that's kind of almost not even relevant, because I think the NFL is going to take action, because he threatened his wife on the tape. He was definitely, they were talking and hinting about the abuse that took place. I mean, he's done for 2019. Hackler says Saints need O-line. That's correct. Drew Locke to Denver. Drew Locke. Fantastic pick. Something that should have happened a long time ago for a lot of teams and for Denver. Not sure why Denver waited on this. I'm not sure why Denver didn't take him at 41, in assuming they may not have traded up, or maybe they just knew, and this is this makes his salary go down just ever so slightly. That could be the reasoning behind it. But Denver taking Locke is a fantastic move. Fant, what did I say yesterday about Fant and the fact that he was the better tight end of the two, and that the QB for the Denver Broncos would eventually be somebody else and not Joe Flacco. So, that's why I thought Fant was a great pick and the better tight end of the two. I think Hawk is awesome, but Fant is better. Locke to Fant will be awesome. I think Cortland Sutton, this is fantastic for Cortland Sutton, given 1 to 2 years from now, Sutton's going to really, I think, blossom. I love Sutton. Sutton was on a bold prediction list for me heading into his rookie year, so I'm a very, very, very optimistic person on Cortland Sutton. Locke I like Locke. I think this is a good fit for Denver, and I think that this team has a future now. Maybe John Elway does know a little what he's doing, but I certainly lost my faith in him for a little bit when he's talking about Joe Flacco being the future of that team. Joe Flacco having, grip of years left. Bye-bye, Flacco. This is now Locke's team. So, fantastic pick by the Denver Broncos. Great trading. Trade up and get who you want. Trade up and get your boy. That's my thinking, and that's what KC should be doing right now, using their 2 second-round picks and saying, we need to go get the guy that could be the difference maker. And the difference maker is A.J. Brown. I'm telling you right now, A.J. Brown is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. Even if they went up and got DK Metcalf, I'd be okay with that. But given that Tyreek Hill is probably done for the entire 2019 season, given that Tyreek Hill is probably suspended indefinitely and may never return to the NFL again, they better start looking at DK. They better start looking at A.J. Brown. They better start looking at how to trade up. Deebo Samuel's already off the board. He was the guy that I think would have been a good fit for Kansas City as well, because he fits a little bit of that Tyreek mold. Okay, so Detroit took Jelani. The inside linebacker out of Hawaii, right? Not a bad pick, but some would have maybe wanted them to go in a different direction. But Denver now has Green Bay now has the 44 pick. The Rams have the 45. So 44 is Green Bay, and then 45 is the Rams. So let's lock that into place there. Draft tracker updated. Okay, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Locke? Fantastic move by Denver. I'm real excited about Denver's future now. I think Philip Lindsay, yeah, pretty awesome. Thoughts with Sutton now that they have Locke. So Nick, this is what I was just talking about. I'm not sure if Nick, you just jumped in. But I think this is great news for Courtland Sutton. In 1 to 2 years, he's going to be, I think, he'll blossom into a top, potential 8 to 12 fantasy wide receiver. I think Sutton has that kind of ability. He was on my bold predictions heading into his rookie year, so definitely like Sutton a lot. Great job, Denver. I'm impressed. Now we got to see if Green Bay's got the. This isn't going to be popular. I know everybody loves Aaron Jones. I don't think the Green Bay Packers have a lot of faith in him, to be completely honest, because they've come out and said, I think Rodgers has talked him up sometimes, but the Packers have talked about that they can't rely on him to be an every down back. I know this isn't going to be popular, but David Montgomery in Green Bay would be the long-term answer. And I think it would ultimately be a fantastic pick in hindsight. It just wouldn't be very popular because people are hoping for Aaron Jones to break out. Just saying. If I was the GM, I'd be looking for a difference maker, a guy that could be a top 5 running back in fantasy football, well, in NFL, but for us, who would translate into a top 5 fantasy football running back, that kind of ability on the field, and David Montgomery has that kind of ability. All right, guys, spoil it for me because you're obviously a couple seconds ahead of me, especially when I'm streaming this on YouTube TV. It is a little bit behind. The Packers pick is in. Who do they pick? I'm looking for you guys to spoil it as well. Looking over. Where are my spoilers? I hear you, Steve. I know a lot of people like Jones. I don't mind that guard. I think that's a good pick. It's funny when a center or a guard or offensive lineman goes and a team and the fans know it's a good pick, but this is the reaction. They're like, yeah, like almost like you open up one of those Christmas gifts that it's a good gift, but you just didn't want it, like a pair of socks or a really nice tie. That's what it's like when fans see their team draft a center or guard, even when it makes sense. It's like, oh, pair of socks, fantastic, I love it. Those Green Bay fans, the look on their face. What was better was the look of the faces of the fans, the New York Giants fans, when they drafted Jones in the first round in the top 6. The look people had on their face when that happened was priceless. Harry would be a perfect fit for where? Yeah, for New England, he's a perfect fit, I believe. Some will argue that, and that's fine. I mean, it makes sense that, there's an argument to be made that, guys haven't thrived in New England. I'm going to try and manipulate this board a little bit. And there's Josh Gordon there, but with Gronk retiring, with the uncertainty around Josh Gordon, N'Keal Harry's in an ideal spot. And for those thinking that Tom Brady wouldn't be a good fit for him, Tom Brady may or may not even be there in 3 or 4 years. So they're going to have to think of a different option. What would have been pretty good is if New England had traded up and gotten Locke or Haskins or something just to prepare. They drafted Garoppolo and people were up in arms saying, "Oh my God, they're going to replace Brady," and they didn't do anything for a while, and then they got rid of Garoppolo. So I don't think it's out of the question. Let me shrink this down a little. I don't know if you guys can still see that draft tracker, hopefully. But drafting a QB here wouldn't necessarily make a year 2019 or 2020 statement, but they need to prepare. And if they get Harry or QB in waiting in New England, that's going to make people a lot more comfortable about Harry's long-term future in New England. But New England, I don't see New England becoming one of those teams that just becomes bad for 10 years after their domination for so many years. I think they're one of those teams that are an attractive place to play. They set themselves up every year very well, and I think we'll see New England answer the QB needs within a year or so. Maybe they trade for Rosen. I'm not a huge fan of Rosen, but in the right spot, he could develop and turn into a player I think that could be pretty good. So in New England, maybe Rosen would be good. Yeah, Michael Reyes is asking if his Cowboys are even drafting this year. New England takes Williams, cornerback. So New England's at 45. They got that pick from the Rams, right? New England from the Rams. Wow. Let me get back out. I feel like my stream is like delayed again. So the Patriots have the most picks in the NFL draft. That's pretty amazing. All right, guys. So what are you thinking?
To announce the New England Patriots selection, please welcome from the University of Alabama, Pro Bowler,
It was Williams, though.
Super Bowl champion Dante
Aaron and
Howard.
Nick. Get out of here with that, Nick.
The Los Angeles Rams have traded the 45th pick to the New England Patriots.
Patriots select. I'm pretty sure you have it right.
45th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. The champs select Juwan Williams, DB, Vanderbilt.
Juwan Williams. Nice call there. Indy is on the clock. And who knows if they trade that pick. And Seattle is on the clock after that. Juwan Williams. Not a bad pick.
Not only is he drafted, but in the second round, it is the New England Patriots that pick up Juwan Williams.
All right, guys. So Indianapolis, Seattle. Who's taking a wide receiver? Where's DK Metcalf going to go? The hype behind DK Metcalf entering the draft was insane. Or coming out of the combine. And the guy hasn't been taken, and we're on the 46th overall pick. So how high? It's like politics. A person comes out, they announce they're popular, then they fall right before the election. You peak too early in people's minds, even in NFL scouting, and you fall off the face of the earth. DK Metcalf to Indy or AJ. I'm really feeling AJ Brown. I felt AJ Brown to Indy a while ago, and now that Indy's back on the clock, I'm still feeling AJ Brown here. DK Metcalf I could see happening since they have a T.Y. Hilton already. They might want a different type of wide receiver, but wow, Luck's value. Where does Luck go if he gets DK Metcalf or AJ Brown? How high do you guys draft Luck? Is Luck a number 2 QB for fantasy in 2019? Is he year 3? I have Pat Mahomes at number 1, regardless of what happens to Tyreek Hill, and I hope that the Tyreek Hill news drives down Mahomes' value into an even bigger bargain range. I don't care. I know that he would probably throw for less touchdowns, probably throw for less yards, but in the end, Pat Mahomes is the maker of a lot of these fantasy football values, and I think that he will do, especially if KC drafts a wide receiver, and it looks like they might land one of AJ Brown or DK Metcalf, which would be phenomenal, which would be smart, which would be just an insanely intelligent move by an organization that knows what they're dealing with, and they're ready to address it right away. When you, great fit. KC would be a great fit in Indy. I'm sorry, AJ Brown would be a great fit in Indy and a great fit in KC. DK Metcalf would be a great fit in KC and a very good fit in Indy. And that would be awesome if both of them landed in both of those spots. But KC's decisive. The Kansas City Chiefs made a decision about Hunt. They acted. I respect it. The fact that they acted. They made moves based on principle. And I think they'll do the same thing with Hill. And they're able to stare reality in the face. And that's an impressive thing for an organization. So, do I see KC potentially drafting a wide receiver here to address that situation that's staring them right in the face? Yes, I do. And I think that, and I'm hopeful that they do.
What do we expect them to focus on here in 2019? Because they didn't have a first-round pick because of the trade of Odell Beckham Jr.
I think, look, obviously, I think the Browns could continue to fortify their offensive line. They may want to look at another playmaker at the linebacker position. They may want to look at another playmaker in the secondary. They are set at wide receiver.
So what are you guys thinking?
They have got skill for days at the running back position, and they've got
the D-line,
and they've got pass rushers. You're right, inside and outside. So I would look for them to add a playmaker at corner.
Sorry about that. All right, guys. So 27 people in the room. Anybody hasn't hit subscribe? I'm sorry for those that have already done it. I'm getting annoying with that. Hit subscribe. It helps me a ton. Please hit the thumbs up for the video, but please hit subscribe. It makes the channel bigger. It makes the channel grow. It makes me get in a position to put videos out more frequently for you. Not only will you get the videos that I crank out almost on the daily, but you might get yourself a 10 to 2 show daily on YouTube, and then eventually maybe somewhere else. That's what I plan to bring. I plan to bring the thunder in the fantasy industry on this channel. I've been in the industry for 15 years. I'm not new. I'm just new to a video show that I launched here on YouTube 3 months ago, and you're looking at it, The Fantasy Football Show, and you're a part of making it and building it up from the ground up. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for all of your help, support, subscribes, and likes. Really appreciate it, guys. Hackler, have you subscribed? JFT, please subscribe. And LV Ace, please subscribe and please hit that thumbs up. It helps the show, and it's going to make us huge, and you're all part of it. I'm very excited to grow this channel for you guys. All right. Hackler says, I hope the Saints trade up. And the Browns. Let me update this tracker. So number 46, the Cleveland Browns. Watch them draft David Montgomery.
Thank you very much. You're very gracious.
Seattle and Miami are on deck.
From my heart. Thank you. The Indianapolis Colts have traded the 46
Colts trade to the Browns. Thank you, Hackler.
with the 46 picks and 2000.
Greedy Williams. Wow. Wow.
The Cleveland Browns select Greedy Williams.
How smart and awesome
Always good
are the Cleveland Browns this year?
there, but there is the
My Super Bowl ticket is looking fantastic.
shoe. We thought he was going to be the first quarterback taken. Instead, he wasn't even the first quarterback taken in the second round.
Yeah, that's amazing to me.
Happiness in
Greedy Williams could have arguably been the first cornerback CB taken in the first round, and he wasn't even the first CB taken in the second round. And the Browns are just loading up that roster. Now they're addressing the defense. Let me move this over. That Browns Super Bowl ticket behind the sticker here in this frame is looking pretty damn nice. Let me move this over. I'll do what I did last time. I'll 33. I'm going to split this up into different columns. What do you guys think about Greedy? Fantastic pick. Fantastic pick. All right. Draft tracker, 2nd round. Okay, we're updated. All right. Yeah, Browns are freaking having a fantastic offseason. They continue to just impress and look like geniuses. Unreal. I like Greedy a lot. He should have been the number 1 or 2 CB taken. Yeah, Vish, amazing that they got Greedy that late. And Cleveland's just proving that they're a different organization. And laughing at the Browns, that's over. Laughing at the Cleveland Browns is now a pastime. So, I'm really hoping some of these running backs and wide receivers go. You still got quite a few picks before the end of the 2nd round, and you just got to wonder.
Just in case we can't correct it. Well, with that in mind, you mentioned LSU. You got Greedy Williams there. You've got Odell Beckham. You got Jarvis Landry. Cleveland is like LSU Midwest now with all the players there.
What are you guys thinking?
So that's what's going on in Cleveland.
Browns are unreal right now. That's all I can say. Fantastic draft. They look fantastic. So on the clock, Seattle, then Miami, then Indy. So draft tracker, let me update that bad boy.
And then they've had a bunch of trades. Now they've got a 2nd round pick, 2 3rd-round picks, 4 4th-round picks, 2 5th-round picks.
Indy. Thank you for subscribing. Just saw that come through. Ring the bell. Subscribe us.
In the drafts in recent years, it seems like they're stocking up to go heavy on the back end of this year. Well, sure. I mean, what they're doing now is put us at draft and develop. They pay the quarterback now, so they know that as far as how we're going to build out the rest of this team, we need some players that are on rookie contracts, and we're going to have to really rely on our coaching staff.
All right, guys. So I'm really thinking,
He's going to have to prove it again now.
and we said this all through the 1st round and most of the 2nd here, but wide receiver run is on the way. A.J. Brown fall into Seattle? Does he fall to New Orleans? Does he fall to Indy? Does DK Metcalf go to Seattle, New Orleans, or Indy? One of those guys, I think, has to go, right? I mean, Miami traded the pick to with New Orleans.
The NFL is proud to support St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital and its fight to end childhood cancer. Calm down, 12s, calm down.
Well, the pick is in.
The NFL Network,
Seattle Seahawks select.
more than $500,000 to benefit St.
If you got this, Steve, drop it.
To announce Seattle's pick is St. Jude patient Owen.
Give Russell Wilson a wide receiver.
4 years old, and through the groundbreaking research of St. Jude, he's now cancer-free at 13.
Good for him. That's awesome. That's a good story. Congrats to Owen.
With the 47th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Marquise Blair.
Utah.
DB. Safety. Okay, Blair, safety goes to Seattle. Well, guys, we're thinking wide receiver here. Probably not. Maybe wide receiver here. I'm not gonna like Brown here. I'll be honest, but I think they develop around him, so give him more time to develop. I wouldn't expect anything right away, but over time it could be a good spot that they build around Brown. I mean, Fitzpatrick's a good passer, but will he stay healthy? And how long can he play? So he's really not the long-term answer. But I think Indy's got to grab one of DK or AJ Brown. They have to. I don't see how they can't. Okay, so New Orleans took this pick. That's why. New Orleans. Good. I'm glad New Orleans has it, not Miami. So New Orleans is up at 58. Good catch. Indy is up next. Deuce, you guys remember Deuce? Who was around when Deuce McAllister was around? I was playing fantasy football. 50s Minnesota. Deuce is looking like he's gained a few. There you go. There's your center. Everybody worried about them losing a center. There you go. There you go.
McCoy is that dude. Look, he's a very athletic guy who can reach and cut off on the inside there.
What an awesome place to land, too, for him. Deuce was solid. Deuce McAllister was an amazing running back, but yeah, what an amount of weight he put on. I mean, Deuce was one of the fastest guys, so it's kind of crazy to see him that heavy. DK, are you thinking DK to Indy? Could be. Could be. AJ Brown to the Vikings? I don't think so, Nick. Not on a team that is going run heavy that already has Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. But good try. Tennessee is at 51. Let me update this draft tracker.
39 starts. He's the smartest offensive lineman they've had there in a long time, they said. And he is a team captain and a leader. So I think he's a plug-and-play starter for the New Orleans Saints right away.
So, Eric McCoy, Blair, Greedy Williams going up the board. Pretty solid picks. Cleveland is making statements, man. Cleveland is no longer... Laughing at Cleveland is done. Laughing at Cleveland is over. Good for Eric McCoy. He seems very genuinely happy, and I think he's in a great spot, so that's fantastic. Good for him. Good little story. AJ Brown to the Vikings. Again, no Nick. DK. The Colts, I have a feeling this is going to be a wide receiver. I might have to run for a bit, guys, after this pick. But I appreciate you guys hanging out again for the majority of the second round. Pop quiz. One kicker to be drafted in the first round. Wasn't it... Chargers kicker? Wide receiver will fall right to Casey's lap. I hope so. I sure as heck hope KC gets one of A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf, because that makes a statement. Makes a statement they're moving on, and that's a fantastic landing spot.
We cover that too. Hop on, Aaron. Sorry, State Farm, no third wheel. This isn't a Titan. Yeah? Yeah. Feels so light.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
I was tired of having my calls dropped,
Why Blanche chose Verizon.
and then I heard I get Apple Music. Boom!
The best network is even better now that Apple Music is included with Unlimited. Plus, get a free Galaxy S10e when you buy one. Only on Verizon.
If they want to beat the Warriors.
I'm going to try and come back, Nick. I did this all yesterday, so I want to try and make sure I'm not ignoring the family for 2 straight days. But we'll see if I can head back over. I definitely wanted to be here for the majority of the second round and the entire first round. But I may bounce a little bit before the second round here. I might bounce pretty soon. I'm hoping that we see fantasy football offensive player get drafted here so we can talk it up real quick. I will definitely be producing videos on this second round and third round as the picks come in and stuff. And I'll be releasing a video probably tonight, if not tomorrow. So look for that content. If you haven't subscribed, and hit the like on this video, but subscribe to the channel. Do that. Hit that bell. You'll be notified when I release a video or when I go live. But I will have content on all this stuff, talking about the wide receivers, the running backs, who was taken. I will be dropping it all night long. So that's another reason I got to jump off, is because I'm going to be making videos and content, written content for the SleeperU.com subscribers right here, or shall I say here where you can see it, SleeperU.com. I'll be having all kinds of written content on this, so I need to get on that tonight too. So I do need to make sure I leave it enough time for all of that. But fun round 1 and majority of round 2 hanging with you guys. Here we go. Sebastian Janikowski, Steve.
We strike, we good? All right, because I got clips. I got heat.
Who you got?
All right, we strike.
Who's going?
With the 49th pick of the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Ben Banagoo, linebacker, TCU.
Huh.
Reggie Banagoo, pause to make sure you get the name right.
Okay.
Nicely done. By the way,
Interesting.
edge presence in 2 rounds coming off the board.
Where will the wide receivers and running back go? All right, guys, I'm going to jump for right now, but I appreciate you hanging out. I can't thank you enough for joining. Please thumbs up on your way out the door. Please make sure you're subscribed and get ready for a ton of content, video content, written content. Make sure you get on over to SleeperU.com. Let me lower these graphics here. SleeperU.com and the Fantasy Football Show. Well, I'm like, SleeperU.com, the FantasyFootballShow.com. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Definitely glad you guys all got to hang out here again today. Sorry I'm jumping early, but been a fun majority of the second round. Look for my comments and my rankings and all my videos on A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, David Montgomery, and Devin Singletary as they go. Peace, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support.